Greetings, fellow targeted individuals. One thing that is commonly reported by TIs is harassment upon arrival to places. This can be a church, a doctor's office, a lobby, a parking lot at a lake. It can literally be an activity which impacts every area of your life, to even where you pump gas to where you wash your car. That's how bad it is for many targets. Well, if you're experiencing targeting to that degree, it typically always goes back to groups like the FBI or CIA, a Citizens Corps, Public Safety, Sheriff's Association, some type of interagency partner, contractor, veterans group, business group. So it's really hard to pinpoint where these activities come from because everything is outsourced. Now, a good way to see these activities is like this. Let's say you go out and you buy a pair of glasses, and somebody steals it from you. Well, what are they? They're a thief, right? A criminal. Well, the government says, here you go. You have the right to free speech, freedom of association. You can be a journalist. You can expose the truth. But what the enemy does is they say, no, you're a journalist, you're an extremist, and now you're a domestic terrorist. Let me take that right from you in some cases. So they steal. They steal from people. They rob people of their ambitions, of what they want to do with their life, and they try to dictate where this person is going to go through by systematically following and intruding into their lives. Now, let's say you're an FBI agent and somebody's following you. You go to the fusion center, you go to the sheriff's department, the county prosecutor, state government. Let's say not one person would help you, and you don't have the money to sue. What do you think could go wrong? Well, there are Americans all across the United States. I was in one group where not one person owned a gun. Now, guess how many people in the group own a gun? All of them. Even their kids are being trained. And these are people that are law-abiding. They don't use drugs. They don't have ties to terrorists. Some of them are Catholics. Some of them are patriots that are retired military. These aren't terrorists. These are people that when they have a problem, they call the NSA, the FBI, Homeland Security. Hey, can you guys help me? And guess what they're documented on video doing? Click. We're Americans. We're the good guys. And then they have U.S. flags around their facilities and in their offices as if they represent us. Do you guys really know the FBI? Their history has been one based on harassing families and targeting people. Gang stalking. The term gang stalking is utilized to signify targeting. Ask the FBI. Have they ever targeted somebody? They can't say no. So you can't go to a fusion center, an urban initiative league, whatever they call these groups with fleets of cars, using elderly people and threat liaison partners. They're not going to help you because it goes against their initiatives. And sometimes the perpetrators will utilize sheriff association partners, and these people, they already see what could potentially go wrong from these activities. Because first of all, you're asking for help, you're being denied help, and now you're documenting some scumbags from Tampa or a different county violating your rights. There are targets which have exhausted all resources to figure out what's going on. I know targets which have spent $50,000, $75,000, $180,000 to figure out this program and to find out that they're unable to have a successful case because these people use non-disclosure agreements. So I just want to focus on one point in this image I made. It's the term persistency. Our enemies are very persistent and conduct their acts sometimes in a very systematic and routine fashion. And it was their hope by systematically harassing you and outsourcing this that you would have utilized deadly force, that you would have committed suicide, that you would have turn to violence. And this is what's really sad. These groups which have been doing this have a long history of promoting violence, promoting shootings, false flags. When you start to clearly see what's going on, and when you start to fully understand what a terrorist is, it's going to blow your mind. The source of terrorism lies with national security threats, not the American people. When you look at what persistency and crossing boundaries can do, you can clearly see how conflict can arise. Before the Ukraine war, NATO did drills, not for like 3 or 4 months or 1 year, for years against the border of Russia. One day, the president of Russia told Biden, give us security guarantees and there'll be no war. Biden was like, hell no. So, Ukraine got invaded. We crossed people's boundaries. We disrespected them by persistently pushing for conflict. And then, when they invaded, we demonized. Hold on a second. Tried to demonize these people. Like, oh, you're bad. You're terrorist. And then we funded these people and gave them drones to attack within Russia. And then utilized other European partners and told them, flood Ukraine with missiles and bombs. So they ganged up on one nation. The same strategies that are utilized on targets in America are utilized on countries. Social and economic sanctions. So now I hope you can clearly see what these activities are linked to.